Hi, Andrea. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened with this here. Um, I'm not quite sure. I probably need to talk to somebody about this account. This is an
Okay.
account. So sorry about that.
It's okay.
All right. Okay. So can you see the screen?
Yes, I see it.
Okay, good. Good. All right. So here you go. Here we have it. And again, just what we talked about, we're just moving those amounts, right? Each one of those amounts we're moving over. And so when we're done, our adjusted trial balance should equal, right? They should balance just like the others did. Right? They should balance just like the others did. Last step in the process, actually, no, not the last step. The next step in the process is now we're going to move these over to the income statement to the balance sheet. What is important to note is that some certain accounts go to the balance sheet, certain accounts go to the income statement. All right. What should not happen is you should not have one account on two of these. It won't work that way. So we have to know which accounts move from the adjusted trial balance to the balance sheet and which accounts move from the adjusted trial balance to the income statement. When we're done, these accounts are going to be split between the two. So let's take a look and see how that looks. All the assets, right? And they're here, they're up top, right? They're all going to move to the balance sheet. And the same will be the case, right, for our contra asset. Same will be the case for our liabilities and our capital account. And finally, so what I want you to notice is that all the asset accounts, all the liability accounts, and all of the in both of the capital and drawing accounts move to the balance sheet. What does not move to the balance sheet are the revenues and the expenses. These revenues and expenses, they actually move to the income statement. Notice again, if it was a debit balance here, we'll move it into the income statement as a debit balance. But notice here, all the expenses, wage expense, rent expense, supply expense, phone expense, insurance expense, right? Delivery equipment expense, the delivery equipment and depreciation expense. All the expense items move to the debit column on the income statement. And if we have any revenues, in this case, we just have delivery fees. That's all our revenues. They move to the credit column of the income statement. Once we've done that, we need to do the calculations, right? Because what's going to happen is we're going to take this 2,150 revenues, we're going to subtract all the expenses, revenues minus expenses equals our net income. Revenues, we add up all the debit or the expenses, 1135. We add up all of our revenues, 2,150. We add up all of our you can you can you not see the screen? Can you still not see the screen, Andrea?
No, I still can't see it.
Let's see. How about now?
Yes, I see it now.
Good. Okay. All right. So sorry about that. Let's go back. So real quick, what did we do? On our fifth step, what we did was we moved, fourth step, I'm sorry, I think it is. Fourth step, we moved all these accounts either to the balance sheet column or we moved them to the income statement columns. Now, which ones do you move which to which? So all of our asset, liability, and capital and drawing accounts, they will move to the column that says balance sheet. That's what you see here. The revenues and expenses, that's all here, they will move to the income statement columns. So notice I didn't move everything to here, or I didn't move everything to here. The top half, which is assets, liabilities, drawing, and capital, they all move to the balance sheet columns. The bottom half, which is revenues and expenses, they all move to the income statement columns. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
We add those up, right? We just go straight down and add them up, 2150. Add all these up, 1135. Add all these up, right? Go straight down the column, 4965. Add all these up. Now notice they are not balancing, right? That's because we're not done. Right now we're just moving them to their places they need to go. We've got to do one more step and then they will balance. So let's see what that is. We have to first calculate net income. Well, how do we do that? We simply take revenues and subtract them, right, and subtract from it the expenses, 1135. We'll calculate the difference between the balance sheet and the debit and credit columns, which is 1015. But guess what? That 1015 comes where? From here, the net income. So what do? We take that net income, we move it over. And next thing you know, we are balanced now. All right, so now we are balanced. All right. Any questions on that, on this process with the worksheet?
No.
All right, think you'll be able to work through it? We have a couple problems like this in the homework. All right. I think that is really the gist of what we're going to do this week.
Okay.
Also, what we talked about last week. So this is recorded, and so unfortunately, it looks like there's going to be 2 recordings. So I hate the fact that it happened. I'm not quite sure why this thing cut off, but it did. So I need to find out what's going on with that. But there'll be 2 recordings. The first one we did most of the talking, and the last one just talks about the last few steps of the worksheet. Okay. All right. If you have no questions, let's see. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. If you don't have any other questions, we can wrap up for tonight.
Okay, I don't have any other questions.
All right. All right. Well, thanks for joining. I appreciate you hanging in there with me.
And thank you too.
All right. You have a good night.
You too.